Hey guys, welcome to week 5. This week we are back to kind of that regular schedule, some reading, a quiz on Wednesday, and then a reverse engineer post on Saturday. Our topics this week are typography and photography. And before I jump over to share my screen, I wanted to show you one thing in the text. You'll be reading quite a few chapters in the text this week, but I wanted to close up before I jumped over so you could see this. Starting on page 176, you're going to see in the typography chapters that the author defines the different types of typography. If I zoom in really close, I know it's backwards, but you'll even see that there's lines, kind of she's done draw-overs and drawn your attention to different aspects of the type that categorizes it as a specific type. This is a great cheat sheet to use as you're analyzing and doing your draw-overs for your reverse engineer post. So remember, in the book, page 176, well, starting on page 176, okay? With that, let's jump over to our course in Canvas. We are in week 5. Remember, the questions and conversations board is where the discussion board is. There is extra information there, some specific about how to upload a font to your computer, so get one online and upload it, whether you purchase or get it for free. There's a lot of great fonts out there. If you're not familiar with where to access them, I talk about a few places inside the questions and conversations board. The other thing is it may not seem like a super helpful or needful thing right now, but being able to upload fonts and install them and use them in Adobe will come in handy as we start working on a creative ad and also on your slideshow presentations. Those are assignments that are coming towards the end of the semester, okay? So remember this, even if you don't watch it now, this is where I'm gonna send you back to learn more about how to install a font and what types of places to go find good fonts, all right? There's some additional information about typography. One of the greatest things that I have learned as a graphic designer is knowing other graphic designers. You can learn a ton from them and they can become your best friends and some of your best mentors. With that said, I want you to consider me as a mentor as far as graphic design goes. I want you to be able to feel like you can ask me questions, share your favorite stuff that you've seen in the design world with me, and let me be amazed by all your awesomeness, and then also ask me questions if you have it. And if I don't have an answer, we'll figure it out together. This is the place that I'm going to share that goodness, all right? So look there for additional information about the projects and then also things I'm going to share about type and photography. If you're feeling a little skittish about either type or photography because you're a newbie, don't worry about it. Everything is covered here in the course this week that you'll need to know so that you can be successful in the class, okay? So no worries there. The reading is actually right here in the quiz link. So again, you will see chapters 9 through 12 in the book. And then these 5 links, they're videos, slideshows, that type of thing. It's all basic instruction that you will access through the links about photography, all right? You will need both your typography knowledge and your photography knowledge that you learn here to be successful at the quiz. You'll take the quiz. Remember, it's open book. You can access any of this information while you take it so you can get the best answers and the best score possible. And then we'll jump straight into the assignment for the reverse engineer post. Last reverse engineer post, we let you guys choose kind of what you wanted to analyze. This time, we're letting you choose, but we want it to be a little bit more specific. It's going to be something in a magazine. Any church publications are up for you to use. So anything from BYUI, BYU Provo, BYU Hawaii, LDS Business College, all that kind of stuff. Any of the church sites, you can access their magazines and use. So BYU Magazine may be a great place. The Ensign might be a great place. The biggest thing that you want to make sure is that you have a lot of copy. You will see in the content specifics, as always, BYU Idaho appropriate as far as the content. And then if you have questions about that, let me know. I've had in past semester students say, hey, it's a great design, would this work? Sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no. Other than that, you need to have 2 pages of content. So stay away from the front cover. That's not 2 pages, it's just 1. 2 pages is going to look more like this. And I know it's a little tiny. You'll see it really big in just a second. A great place to find the most awesome looking articles in a magazine is the front cover. They list all the feature articles, all the things that they want you to really draw attention to is here. Try accessing any of those articles first to find kind of the best design in the magazine. It will make your life a lot easier and you'll be able to jump right to it. If you don't have access to magazines, you can look online and just type in magazine layouts. The other thing you can do is hit up your local library. Lots of libraries have current issues as well as back issues of popular magazines, and I know they don't mind at all if you just lay it out on a table in the magazine, snap a picture, and you could go through and find 5 or 6 to work from and then bring your images home and then put them up on your computer and get to work, okay? So you will follow along with all of the reverse engineer post requirements, okay? You're gonna give me some analysis You're going to take these pictures and images, you're going to upload them and do drawovers, and we're going to talk about type and photography all in one post, all right? Just a little caveat right here. You're going to analyze types. You're going to take your camera and take a picture of the spreads, okay, or scan it or whatever you do. But then you're also going to use your camera to take 3 pictures that mimic the type of image that you're identifying in your magazine spread, okay? So if you have access to a big fancy camera, awesome, but you don't need it. You can use your cell phone camera. If you don't have access to a cell phone camera, you can find a friend who will let you use theirs. Or if you are running out of ideas, please contact me and let me know so that we can work on finding a solution or a workaround for you, all right? With that said, once you have analyzed the photography that's used in your magazine spread, you'll use your camera to take 3 pictures that mimic the same style, okay? And then you'll post those in your reverse engineer post, all right? Make sure that you follow all the general blog post requirements, the titles, the tags, the categories, a featured image if your theme allows for it. Make sure that you read all through your text, that you've covered all the project requirement areas clearly and concisely. You don't have typos. You've done everything you need to as far as sizing your images correctly, that type of thing. And then make sure you include a live link for your blog post so that in case your PDF doesn't upload right, I can go access it on your website. Make sure your website is marked as public, not private, so I don't have to ask for that to be opened up. And then include a PDF of your blog post. To do so, there is this Web to PDF convert, or there's some other methods. I think, 5. We're up to 5 other methods you can use, okay? That said, here is a really quick example. This is from a mock blog that we have for this course, okay? He gives us just one plain image of what the spread looks like. Then he starts his drawovers and he tells us the category identification. Then he gives us typeface contrast. So this is where he's going to jump into all the specifics of what the features of the different fonts. Then he tells us about the photography that's used. Right here, it's obviously leading lines. And then he gives us 3 pictures that he took with leading lines. And then he gives us his conclusion, and he makes sure everything's golden, and then he turns it in to his professor. You'll do your PDF, give me your live link, hit the submit assignment button, and be able to jump straight into giving me all of that and be ready to turn in your assignment on Saturday. With that said, I want to share a mock-up of this so that you have one more example that's a little bit closer up than just that mock blog, all right? This is actually the 2nd page of a featured article in that magazine I held up earlier, all right? So I just snapped a picture, I dragged it into Illustrator. You are welcome to use Illustrator for your drawovers. After 2 weeks, you might be more comfortable in this program. By all means, use it. If Photoshop is your friend, stay there. No big deal, okay? I'm in Illustrator because that's the program I love the most and that I use the most, okay? So this is my spread. You can see I've got some different types. I'm going to include one image like this, okay? For me, I lay it out just like I have the different types of images that I need. So my next artboard is going to be the same image, and then I draw attention to the text. Here's 1 type, here's 2 types, here's 3 types, all right? Then I actually zoomed in with my phone and took a closer picture of the different type so that I could outline it. This is where I mentioned page 176 in the book. Go back there and refer, okay? This first font where it says, oh, hello, you're here for the meringue lesson. This is a modern font. I tell you about the vertical stress, and I show you where it is. I show you about the serifs on the lowercase letters and how they're thin and completely horizontal with no brackets. I talk about radical thick and thin transitions in the strokes, okay? So here's thick, and it goes super skinny, super fast, all right? And then I talk about no bracketing over here. Then I come down to this text down here. It's old style, okay? I mark it off. This is all old style. Here's all the different characteristics of old style. I actually pointed out on different letters even. Let me say this about these 2 types of fonts. Sorry, I'm going to move my cursor because when it hovers and brings up all those bounding boxes, it drives me nuts. Modern and old style are very, very similar. Here's the biggest difference. Modern fonts are hardly ever going to be used in large bodies of text. So if you tell me that in your spread that all of the text, okay, that means like the paragraph after paragraph after paragraph of writing is modern, I'm going to write you back and say, nope, sorry, you're wrong, and I'll mark you down. And that's because modern typefaces are very difficult to read when they're tiny and when they're in a large supply. Okay, so when there's a lot of it, okay, that body copy, it's not ever going to be in modern. It's old style, okay? Old style, make sure you read, okay? It tells you old style came first, and then it transitioned into modern, okay? So there's going to be some that look almost modern, but just err on the side that if it's in the body, just call it old style, okay? And you can even point out to me that like there's some really aspects that really look almost modern, and then you can conclude that probably this is one of the old style fonts that came closer to the transition into modern fonts, all right? But if you tell me that it's modern, I'm going to look at you and think you're a little bit crazy because I covered it here in the video, plus it's very obvious in the book. So you're going to do this, okay? Then you'll save that one as a JPEG and upload it to your site. Then I'm going to